Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a couple render settings for After Effects and other Adobe programs to go along with After Effects. So first you just want to make a composition, and hopefully you're done with your project by this time, or hopefully you're trying to export to another program. What you want to do, you want to go to Render Quo, and then go to Best Settings, and just leave most of this the same. All this is usually done right. Use comps frame rate unless you're trying to upload to a certain program or a website that only uses a different frame rate, then you change it right here. But in this case I'm going to use the comps frame rate. And then when you go to output module, and then don't mess with anything over here, but format, depending on what a computer you have, you'll have a couple of different things, but it's mostly all the same. I always just do QuickTime. I never really use After Effects directly to render things, but it's okay if you're just trying to get something out real fast. And that's all the settings you really need. I'll leave them all in the description if you really don't feel like watching this whole video. But the program I use the most is Adobe Media Encoder, and it's a really nice program. It'll take you a couple minutes for your After Effects composition to load, but I'm just going to go over a couple of settings real fast. So you have a lot of presets over here. I typically don't use these unless you're just bringing some directly into this to render. But most of the time I don't ever need to do that. But you have a thing called a renderer down here, and what it's basically doing is it's telling Encoder what to actually render with. So both these are GPU acceleration devices. I would never use software only, but if you have a pretty good graphics card, or you have a CUDA or something available, or I don't know if AMD has something of a hardware acceleration, but if they do, I'd use that. But as of right now, Apple doesn't support CUDA anymore, so I have to use metal acceleration. Sorry about that. That's just, there's two of these. You can do it either way. You can either do it the composition way, which is going through the composition and adding to Media Encoder, or you can go to Render Quo and click that button right there. But since I already have it loaded, I'm going to delete one of these. But what you want to do, these have a little panel box. You can just click things real fast. If you're uploading to YouTube, do that. You know, put it anywhere you want to. And after that, all you do is click this little green arrow. Like I said, I'm using metal right now. And don't mess with that checkbox. And now you'll see a little, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but on my screen there's a little box and it says Output Preview. Yeah, it's up here now. And it'll tell you all the file names, where you have it, the format, preset, video summary, bitrate, audio, stuff like that. It'll load here in a second. Yeah, now you can see a preview of the video playing, and it'll tell you all the information about it. And Media Encoder is usually the best. Honestly, it's, even if you're using Premiere or After Effects, I'd use Encoder if you can. If you can't afford it, or I think it comes free with the programs. I'm not sure. I have the Creative Cloud Suite, and I have it. Alright guys, now the second option is to use Premiere other than After Effects. What you can do, you can go to the Dynamic Link button, and we're going to import an After Effects composition. I'm actually not going to do it this way. I'm just going to import directly. And it will start up Dynamic Link. And this will take a couple minutes depending on how big your project is. This is a pretty big project, because what I used for other two renders were just small clips. So you're actually about to see how long it will take with a bigger project. Alright, when everything's loaded, you'll get to a screen like this. It'll say connected to, and then whatever the name of your project is. And I would go to whatever your main comp was. So in my case, it's actually just named main comp. I'm going to import that right now. This shouldn't take that long. The actual loading of everything took about a minute. And then just drag it in there where it says create a sequence, and like I said, it shouldn't take that long. It'll be done pretty quickly. And what you'll do after you're happy with it, you'll just go to File, Export, Media, and well, my screen's over here. And then you can I wouldn't do match sequence settings. You can if you don't really like getting in depth with all this. You can. I wouldn't. Just do H.264, the highest bitrate you can. Don't add any comments. Output name or whatever. Click the little drop down menu and then go to desktop or wherever your project is. And if you have something that's not in this area, you can just click this little arrow and it'll just take you to the full screen. And then format files, you can't really change that, I don't think. Then this will tell you all your information you need to know. So like the frame rate is 59.94. It is 1080p. And you can match settings as far as this goes. Render at maximum depth, I don't think really does anything. Encoding settings, you can do hardware encoding or software. If you don't have a graphics card that's really powerful, you can use software, but most of the time I'd use hardware encoding. The bitrate, I'd do 2 pass. And I would just put both of them to 16. And then audio, this should all just stay the same. Don't mess with any of this. And the rest just really doesn't matter. And you can use maximum render if you want to. It doesn't matter. And frame sampling, frame blending, I'd use that. And then it'll tell you your file size. There are ways to make them smaller, but yeah, it depends how big your file is. Because if you have a bunch of clips matched together, you can get up to a gigabyte if you have a big, like 30 to an hour long video. And all you gotta do is export, or you can go to quote, which will take you back to Adobe Media Encoder, but we already went over that, so we're not gonna go over that again. Encoder and Premiere render settings are pretty much the same. They're all laid out the same. After Effects just doesn't support H.264, so that's why I use Media Encoder. Plus, it's a lot faster than using the built-in renderers inside of Premiere and After Effects, because it's an actual render-based program. It's made for rendering, not for video editing. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope to help someone. And if you have any requests or anything, leave a comment and I'll get on that topic. Thank you for watching.